Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters
and explore the lore.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily, and today we will be dissecting
Unfriended.
Let's log in.
In a found footage style, a group of friends are on a Skype call when they all realize that it is the anniversary of the suicide of a girl named Laura Barnes. The friends notice that there is a random person in the chat with no name, and they are unable to hang up on them or kick them from the chat. A girl named Blair and her boyfriend Mitch text separately about who it could be, and Mitch sends Blair a link to a website called The Universal Rules of the Dead, containing guidelines for dealing with the supernatural. One of the rules highlighted is do not answer messages from the dead.
Almost like a warning.
Yeah, almost. It's almost like don't call the dead either. And that's also a Ouija board. That's like a cell phone for them.
That's literally what it is, yeah.
Suddenly, Blair gets a text from Laura.
The dead girl.
From the dead girl. To which she responds immediately.
Of course.
Immediately ignoring the warning.
Yep.
Asking what they want. Real stupid.
Because that always goes well.
Just be like, that's a scammer. Block.
No, yeah.
Scammer. Block. I don't know who you are. Fuck you.
Like,
that girl's dead. Bye.
If this girl was supposedly my friend from the past and she had committed suicide and I randomly got a message from her, I would not text anybody who was trolling. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with this, whoever this is? Goodbye, block.
Yeah.
Anyway. Another friend, kind of, named Val, joins the Skype call when a raunchy post goes up about her. She's smoking bongs. She's what else was she doing?
She's the definite wild child.
Yeah, definite wild child, partying, probably, getting it on.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly posted from one of the friends, Jess's account. Jess swears she had nothing to do with it when the screen goes black. We then see Val sitting next to a bottle of bleach. And then she's on the floor as the police storm her house, saying the code for suicide.
Oh, yeah. Bitch drank a bottle of bleach.
Mm-hmm. And then the friends all freak out and they're like, all right, everybody hands up to prove that they aren't the ones that's posting and sending these strange things in the chat.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Because there's a lot of weird messaging and weird statements being requested and strange games
being played.
Mm-hmm.
That's still me. The tech-savvy friend, Ken, the guy in the chair, tries to kick the unknown user from the chat using his special techie methods.
Mm-hmm.
But the user privately texts Blair, saying if she doesn't stop him, Ken will die. However, Ken succeeds, and suddenly the video comes on for the unknown user, previously just a bubble of a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Showing it to be Ken's background in his room.
Yeah.
Watching Ken from behind.
Yeah, because he goes and finds that fucking
he
spot.
Digs through a pile of whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And it's
because he looks like he's out in a fucking garage.
It looks like he's in a garage, yeah. He's digging through piles of stuff to find the
also,
camera.
who the fuck puts their computer out in a goddamn garage? That's not insulated and protected.
That's just where he likes to hang. The screen goes dark and then comes back on to see Ken's hand in a blender, followed by his throat.
Hell yeah. That is the scene that has always been stuck in my head.
Yeah. I don't know, but for some reason for me it's different in the way I envision it. To me it's daytime. There's light coming through a window and it's on the opposite side of what it showed. And I don't know.
Yeah, because initially the blender's there and it's on and then he sticks his hand into it and then it glitches,
and then it shatters.
And then the thing, the safety glass is no longer there, and then is fucking just full on neck into the blender.
Yep.
Blades. Yeah.
Yep.
It's really intense. Yeah.
But it only lasts for like 3 seconds.
It's so quick. Mm-hmm. It's so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler warning. Skip ahead.
Or don't.
Or don't. Or don't. The unknown user then forces the rest of the friends to play Never Have I Ever.
And if you've never played that game, it's just a game where you put 5 fingers up, and then for each thing you have done, you put a finger down.
Yeah.
And if you have all fingers down, you lose.
We usually do 10 fingers just to give people chances.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But these bitches were like, I don't want that many chances. I have not that many secrets.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in this game, the loser dies.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, with the most fingers down after revealing that he distributed a sex video of him and Blair, shoots himself in the head by supernatural manipulation.
Yeah, so Blair was fucking around with Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Mitch's best friend.
Oh, yeah.
She was cheating.
Oh, yeah.
What a shame.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I didn't mean anything. Right.
Oh,
it
yeah.
never does.
Yeah. Maybe just don't cheat. And if you think you're going to start cheating,
break up.
Because clearly you're no longer interested in the person that you're with.
Mm-hmm. And if you actually cared about them, you wouldn't put them down like that.
Exactly.
But I love you. No, you don't.
Oh, yeah, no.
Anyway.
Yeah. The next person to lose is Jess, after it is revealed that she defaced Laura's grave.
How fucking
Which is
dare she?
Actually really fucked up.
That's so fucked.
Like, yeah, the previous thing is fucked up, but it does happen a lot. To deface like a grave is like, there's something about that that's like significantly worse.
Yeah. So I personally,
that's like
I think
malicious intent.
I think her death is the most gruesome. Personally.
Yeah. I can, yeah.
Even though the blender's crazy.
The blender's crazy, but it's like the visual of it is, yeah, I would agree. It's pretty gnarly, as someone would say. Jess's screen goes black as well until the image comes back with a hot curling iron shoved down her throat.
She did.
Killing her. And I will agree with your silly little note of the gurgles were gnarly.
The gurgles were gnarly.
They were fucking gross.
She's just like...
Yeah, it's dead ass.
With like the sound of the hot like iron burning through her throat.
And but also like the saliva from the pain.
Yeah.
And the like, oh yeah.
It was gross.
It was fucking gross. And
that's what I mean by it's the worst, personally.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross.
Give me blender to the neck any day. That's instant. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe I retract my statement.
Not as instant as you think. And neither is you want to know whose death you do want?
Adams. I want Adams.
Yeah, because he literally just shot himself and he's done.
And you're done.
You don't want the bleach because that's not... No.
I've drank bleach before.
What the fuck?
Little side story. Okay, so back when I was in like elementary school.
Jesus Christ.
It was elementary school. My dad was going to take me to summer camp. We were about to go. And even back then, I had a cute little water bottle. And back then, we would get our water from these jugs that we would go over to Winn-Dixie and fill up at like those glacier... like gallon fillers.
Yeah.
So that's how we would get our water. And so the one I was going to get water from...
Yeah.
I put that in my water bottle and I went to go drink it and I was like, this tastes so
bad. Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Like, and I kept kind of like drinking it a little bit. And then I was like, Dad, this doesn't taste correct to me. And he goes and he smells it and he's like, he tastes a little bit and he's like, that's bleach. That's hardcore bleach. And I was like, what do you mean that's bleach? And then we go look at the gallon jug that the water's in.
Yeah.
And it was just one that my Nana had been cleaning out.
Oh, no.
Not the one meant for water.
Oh, no.
So I full on just drank bleach. It wasn't on purpose. It was not
And
on
it wasn't like a
purpose.
whole lot.
No, it wasn't. But I definitely felt a little wheezy the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Obviously. I don't think I went to summer camp that day. I think I stayed home.
Probably because you just drank bleach.
Yeah. I remember going to the toilet trying to throw it up because I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, no.
Because you want to be able to purge whatever that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah, because we like called poison control
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, just try to throw it up. If you start feeling even worse, go to the hospital. But
Yep.
right now you're okay. It doesn't seem like it was a lot. So
Yeah.
and it was diluted because it was like water and bleach in there.
It was a mixture, yeah.
I don't know why that's how they were.
Because that's how you clean. You do clean stuff like that.
But why
yeah.
sit it on the counter where
Why make it so readily available? Yeah, it should have
for
been
your, like,
a little bit safer.
for your
to-
9-year-old? I think I was about 9.
Yeah, it should have been probably facing a different direction to make it seem like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to like touch that one or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but at least my bottle was clean. And my insides, I got a good cleaning.
You know,
I got a good deep clean.
the wrong kind of cleaning, but sure.
Yeah. Anyway, hard tangent, but I thought I
Anyway.
would share that story because haha,
Yeah.
why not?
Anyway, Mitch is next. When his last secret reveals that he was one of the people that spread rumors about Laura Barnes.
Okay, but that's not all he did.
And then he stabs himself in the eye.
I don't remember with what. I think it's a knife.
Probably a knife. Or some pen or pencil or something. I don't
know.
remember 100%.
That's not all he did. He also cheated on Blair.
Blair, yeah.
With Jess.
Yeah.
And he so he can't act all pouty when
Blair cheated as well.
with Adam.
Because all of you were dumb cheaters and terrible people.
They were all fucking
They're all
each
fucking
other.
terrible people.
They were all fucking each other because Jess was with Adam, Blair was with Adam, Jess was with Mitch, Blair was with Mitch.
Yeah.
Like, they were all fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody just is terrible people. They're all terrible.
Well, they're all dead.
Yep.
Oh, wait, what?
Finally, the end of the game reveals that Blair was the one that recorded the humiliating video of Laura that ultimately led to her death. Even though Blair claimed to be her friend.
And this video was so fucked up. Like, this girl is shit-faced, passed out on the floor,
Being taken advantage of.
and then she had clearly bled through her pants.
Yeah.
Like, all over.
Yeah.
And Blair got a close-up of that
Yeah. It's really fucked up.
and was, like laughing at her.
The truth of the matter is I've never experienced a group of people like this. Like my brain can't even like comprehend that there
No.
are people like this that would do this kind of shit, especially if you're saying that they're your friend.
Right. Like, if that were my friend, I would literally pick her up, like,
Yeah.
wrap her in a towel, like, take her home,
Yeah.
make sure she gets a nice change of clothes, put her in the shower for a second if she
Yeah.
needs it, and tuck her in. Give her a little kiss on the forehead. That's a friend.
Like, not this whole friend group dynamic. Whoever the fuck these people are absolutely terrible and all deserve what came to them.
I'm going to agree. I agree.
Every single one of them deserved it. I mean, you know, because the part of it is that the game came after some of these characters. So like Ken, we don't 100% know
What?
his
he
influence.
did.
And same
Yeah.
thing for Val. I don't like.
Well, they were okay. Well, Ken was talking shit about Val like the whole time before she even came on to the chat. Like, he
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh, she's such a bitch. Like, I hate her. Like, whatever." So I guess that's his flaw. And then I don't know about Val. I feel like she was just kind of in on it, everything.
Yeah, Val and Ken. We don't 100% know anything.
Yeah,
I mean, but yeah,
we don't
everybody
really get
else
into the nitty gritty until it's the final four.
Yeah, and they're
Core
all
four.
fucked.
Yeah,
They're all fucked up.
fuckity fucked. Yep.
And then the screen goes wild when the laptop shuts and Laura's vengeful spirit comes for the final friend. The end.
I like how that rhymes.
Yeah. Alrighty. So this movie was released April 17th, 2015. When I graduated high school.
Oh, 2015?
2015 was when I graduated high school. Alrighty. The director is Levon
Gabridis.
You know, Gabridis. That's what it's going to be.
I don't actually know. Gabriadis
is probably better than Gabridis. Gabriadis is probably better.
No, Gabriadze? Gabriadze? Something like that.
Levon Gabriadze.
I like it.
We'll go with that one.
Levon Godzilla.
Yeah. It's distributed by Universal Pictures.
Ooh. What if we got an Unfriended house?
That would be cool. But
I don't think there's a whole lot you could really do with that.
I don't think there's a whole lot that you can do with that.
Yeah.
The creator is Nelson Greaves. And it has a sequel, which is Our Unfriended Dark Web.
Indeed.
Now, I do have their budget, which feels like it should be a COVID price. This should be like a COVID movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like this would have done great during COVID.
Because it would have been like, holy shit, that's how everybody has to live their lives right now.
That's very much, oh my God, what is that?
Describe it. Is it a movie?
No, it's like a like an argumentative tactic. You know how you have like ethos, logos, pathos?
Yeah.
There's another one. I want to say it's Kairos. Yeah, Kairos. I almost said Chronos. Yeah, it's Kairos. So it's like putting something out during a certain time.
Yes, we talked about this during during one of our other episodes. Yeah.
So it's like if this came out during that time, that would have freaked a lot of people out, I think. Because everything was on the internet. Everything was online.
I think we talked about it when we did, oh my God.
Megan? What if it was Megan?
No, it wasn't Megan. It was with the bees.
Yes, you're right.
My brain is just...
Candyman.
Mm-hmm. Because it came out during the whole time period when we were having
Black
the protests.
Lives Matter movements and yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have their budget, which is $1 million.
Yeah. They actually didn't do too bad in the box office. It was 62.9 million.
Yeah. That's not bad for having a $1 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with, again, it feels very much like this should be like a COVID thing.
Yeah, it does. Like, this definitely would have freaked a lot of people out during COVID time.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, everything was online.
Yeah.
So the runtime, it's only an hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Not a
super
whole lot.
long.
Yeah, that's why the summary was pretty short. Although it felt long because we ad-libbed a bit,
Yeah.
62% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is honestly, to me, shocking.
But it's not like... It's not a terrible movie.
No, it's just I'm shocked that it ranks... It's twice as much as The Boy. And I think that's what shocks me a little bit.
But I feel like it is... Not that it's a better movie, but because it's such a different genre type, it's such a different visual type, because it is that like found footage, so it's not, they do have a very different feel to them.
I suppose.
Because one is supernatural, the other one is not.
Correct. Yeah.
So they're in the same horror genre, but they are two very different, styles of it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially The Boy, I would say, is a little bit more classic horror versus Unfriended is kind of not experimental, but kind of that.
It's definitely
vein.
Contemporary type.
Yeah.
Okay. Kill count.
Yes.
6 with all the friends.
Mm-hmm.
7 if you include Laura.
Yeah. I would say 7 if you include Laura.
Yeah, because you see her die, but she doesn't technically die in this time frame.
Yes. But she's part of the dead.
Yeah, she is for sure. Yep. And then we have our lovely cast.
Our cast of peoples.
Mm-hmm. Our 7.
Yep.
Everyone in this movie dies.
Yep.
No survivors.
Yep.
Sorry. If you were hoping for Sunshine and Rainbows, you're not going to get it here.
And I will say that is something that we don't get a lot. Is everybody dying.
That's true.
No survivors.
That's true.
There's always usually our final girl or our final boy. We'll have to at some point in time do like a chit chat or something like that where we like deep dive the classic horror tropes and like thematic
I would love
stuff.
to do that.
I think that would be a very fun one to do. But
like
yeah,
how many movies and what movies have certain tropes and different.
because this is a very I would classify this more in those like rare types where everyone dies.
Yeah. Yep. If you play Until Dawn like me. But it's not because I'm playing shitty. It's because I'm a psychopath who goes and kills everybody in the exact way I wanted them to die. I got a reward for that.
It's a good ass game. It's a good ass
I
game.
love seeing all the PlayStation rewards come in.
And at some point in time, I will do a big old deep dive of the letter. Because I gotta do it at some point.
All right.
But yeah, go with our cast.
Okay. Shelley Hennig as Blair Lilly. Moses Storm as Mitch Russell. Russell? Russell. Renee Olstead as Jess Felton. OGs know her from The Secret Life of an American Teenager. It was a very terrible TV show that starred Shailene Woodley. It was so bad. Will Peltz as Adam Sewell. Jacob Wysocki as Ken Smith. Courtney Halverson as Val Rommel. And then last but not least, our spooky gal, Heather Sosaman as Laura Barnes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Now let's get into the behind the scenes.
Jace. Would you like me to go first?
Yes.
All right, I shall then.
What if I do all of my notes?
What if we just talk like this for the rest of the video? How would you like this?
I don't think they could be able to tell who is who.
At this point in time, I don't think even we could tell who is who.
I do not know.
I'd be like,
who's
who the
speaking
fuck
right
is
now?
fuck?
Oh, when you're going to edit?
When I go to edit, I'll be like, fucking, what am I doing? How do I match this up?
You got to just figure it out.
Next character idea. Next character accent. Oh my god, that would be so fucking funny. Because my
you
next
just pull up
character,
and we're all introducing ourselves, and you like have serious face, and you're like, you see a cloaked figure with dark clothes.
because you know the next character that I want to play as, yeah?
Yeah, I do. But then all of a sudden they come out and they're like, what is up, you guys?
Dude, because the thing is the next character I want to play is a Warforged druid that has like a tree growing through her. And it's like, and I want to have her tall because I want her to have, like, it's going to be kind of like a wisteria
Yeah.
type, so that she's got this like really colorful, flowery, like kind of afro-y long hair.
Yeah.
But that would be so fucking wild to just walk up and be like, there's this really beautiful silver, or like goldeny, spirally designed Warforged that shows
So
up.
she's so beautiful and ethereal and elegant.
There's this wisteria tree that's growing through her. What's up, you guys? How you doing over there? Are you enjoying your time at the bar, at the tavern over there with the food and the drinks?
I feel like if you make it the more,
I got to add a little bit more of the thing.
a little bit more of the depth in the.
I gotta watch Anastasia a couple times just to like really follow that bat.
Oh yes, the bat. Oh my god.
And then I kick her, sir. I fucking love that bat. He's so cute.
He is.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway, let's get into this move Washlier. I had to because you caught it last time.
Let us compose ourselves, no?
Yeah. All right. So I found a kind of interesting like article where it was kind of like an interview with both Nielsen Greaves, the creator, and then also the director, Levon. So it's kind of like a back and forth, but we get a nice like collection of information from kind of the both of them about the overall stuff. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all, there's not a lot of like special effects in this movie because it's mainly a Skype screen.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we get some of those moments, but they're not like heavily talked about or described, you know, because they're, for all intents and purposes, they're pretty mundane special effects, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not like the super special shit. Like, I can't wait till eventually we do an episode on tarot. I think that would be a fun one for us to do.
Yes.
Depending on how November goes, we'll see. Maybe we can pop it in there.
Yeah, I would love to.
But so it starts off with some statements from Nelson Greaves. So fucking names. Okay. This has a lot to do with inspiration that was from one person to another. So they were talking about the fact that their previous boss from a different production, which was Timur Bekmambetov,
Sure.
Bekmatov, you know, I tried.
That's a very long fucking last name. Oh, it's still going.
Betov.
Oh.
Bekmambetov
we're
is
still
his
going.
name.
We're still going.
I am desperate to fucking pronounce this goddamn name right. Anyway, was Nelson's boss on a previous film. And he had an idea for a setting of a movie on a computer desktop.
Yeah.
For probably about 15 years.
Whoa.
He had an idea to do this.
Okay.
Because he had two companies.
Well, he's luckily nobody came out with the idea before him.
Yeah. Because he had two different companies, one based in the United States and one based in Russia. So when the day ends in one place, it starts in another. So he's on his computer all night directing and producing via Skype. So tons of the movies he sat in the editing bay literally from Skype editing with them. So he had recognized that the things that they do on their computers, they are the drama of our lives. Because that's where we spend a lot of our time.
Yeah.
Especially for the time period in which this started, which was that early 2010s time frame.
Yep.
Heavy computer era, I would say. So
yeah, I remember like I was pretty young. It was probably literally 2010.
Yeah.
So you were like,
I was 15.
You're like 15, 16, and I would come over and it would just be you and your friends like on your computer like all the time.
Oh yeah.
And that was like the main thing that you guys were doing.
Yeah, because we were playing games or we were doing stuff. It was always something
watching
to that
videos,
effect.
like just something always.
Because most of them spent 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day sitting in front of a computer. So their lives largely take place on computers, and most of our lives all take place on computers now.
I will say, my girl Blair had a lot of fucking tabs open.
She had a lot of shit. You know what?
Too many.
You want to know what? That is just like my mom. If you saw her Google Chrome on her on her phone.
But it was all shopping places. I stopped and I looked at it. I was like, what does this girl got going on?
My mom has so many tabs open that there's no longer a number visible.
Why?
I don't, because she just wants to remember them, and I'm like, Mom, just save them just save them.
Yep, favorite them.
Just bookmark them. I don't know why. Because she's like, but I'll forget. And I'm like, you're going to forget in your hundreds of tabs.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. You're going to crash your computer.
You're going to, and that's just on her phone.
Oh my God.
That's on her phone's Google Chrome. It's wild. It's wild. And I'm like, how do you do that? I have to close so much stuff. The more tabs I see, the more frustrated I get.
Yeah. It's like, I may be messy sometimes in my real life, but one thing about me is my phone is organized AF.
All right. So he mentions the fact that that he had the insight to say that there is a story here and that people would be interested because it's about people's lives.
Yeah.
And so that was what came first. The horror of it all came later on one night when they were all talking about this, and he pitched it a couple times. And at first he never really understood it, and suddenly they landed on the horror, and then it all clicked in, and they're like, "Oh, I get it."
Wait, so he wanted to make a movie like this, but he didn't know what genre?
I think it took a second. I think he thought that possibly that could be a route that could be taken.
I couldn't imagine this movie any other way. Like,
first
how would you make
topic
this?
About, like, okay, people in a Skype call, like, and it reflecting their lives, and then take it dark, I think is kind of the mentality.
Okay.
So once he kind of understood that the horror part of it, as it clicked in, it was like, oh, I get it. You use the restrictions and limitations of a computer desktop the same way that the Blair Witch Project used the restrictions of a single camera. So all you have is that viewfinder. All you have is that view.
Yeah. So I get it. So it wasn't necessarily figuring out if it was horror. It was just how to make it that way. Yeah.
And it made sense to them in the end of that. And then the first thing is, like, how do you actually film this? How do you film this setup? So they knew from the very beginning that the only way to get true, honest responses out of these actors was going to be if they were actually all talking to each other.
Yeah.
So it was filmed just like it was an actual Skype conversation between them.
Yeah.
So basically, Adam Sidman, who was one of the producers and is the director of photography, he designed this hardware, a hardwire camera system that was based on, like, a security camera footage technology. So that allowed each of the actors to see the other actors and communicate as if they were in a real conversation. Because obviously you can't use the actual, like, Skype, because that's proprietary information.
Yeah.
So they had to kind of make something up. So each of the actors was in their own rooms. So they were all separated, where they would be locked away for the entirety of the take.
Was it one take?
So some takes went up to 85 minutes. So that was the first part of it in terms of getting the actual footage, which they shot on GoPros, which were attached to actual computers.
Yeah.
The second part was, how do you put it all together in post?
Yeah. I was wondering that.
So a lot of the credit goes to Parker Laramie, who was one of the initial editors of the film, who designed this very complicated system that every editor that they've shown since has said, this is the most horrendous, frightening, avid timeline I have ever seen. At times, there were literally 30 to 40 layers to the actual timeline.
Jesus.
And we're very much approached that part of it like an animation, as a bunch of elements working at play together. So they had a lot layered all together to make this look like they were having, like, a Skype call. And they mentioned that the best part about it, when you cut actors' frequency, when you have a couple seconds or even a couple 1 minute takes, they don't have enough time to get into the character. So it's just a glimpse of the character they have to play. Here, it's more of the theatrical approach. So where they have to go through the whole story in real time. And by the time they get to the end, they are tired, and they're supposed to be tired.
Yeah. That's a play.
Yeah. They're not playing being tired. They're actually exhausted. They're scared. They're exhausted. They've been under the skin of their characters for a long time. And that was actually, they used at the end of the movie, is actually the longest take that they had ever had. And as it was happening, basically there was this energy in the air and it was electric. At the end of the 85 minutes, all the actors walked out of their rooms and their eyes were red and their voices were hoarse. And everyone kind of looked at each other and said, what did we just do?
Aww.
So there was this kind of, I think it's really interesting in that regard of like,
So even if their take was over and they were kind of done, they had to sit in their rooms?
because they're all together, but I would assume so. Yeah, kind of situation. It was kind of like,
So like even if Val died at the beginning of the movie, she had to sit in that room for the rest of the hour and like...
that I'm not 100% certain.
You're probably like the final four.
But it's definitely one of those, I think it's interesting to see. I like to see people able to get into their characters, you know, to get into the methodology, to get into the like,
although that's
even if you're making your own background for them, it adds depth.
That's got to be rough on those actors though. Like horror is, you got to be ready for it. Yeah,
because it's intense. It's an intense one.
Your brain knows it's fake, but your body doesn't.
Yeah.
So like if you're screaming and yelling and running around and putting yourself in situations that are stressful, that's, your body's gonna think that you are.
Oh yeah.
And that's like, yeah.
But it adds to the realism of it, you know.
Yeah. That's acting for you.
But yeah, that is good for me. We'll get into the little dark web section after your little notes.
Yeah. So I don't have a whole lot on like lore.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I get pretty dark because I think these things are important to talk about. All right. First, the original title was supposed to be Cybernatural or Offline.
Offline isn't bad. Cybernatural feels a little weird, but yeah.
Yeah, both are very strange.
Offline's not too bad.
Yeah, I like Unfriended.
Yeah, I like Unfriended.
Is the best one they could have chosen based on
it gives a like
plot and everything.
It gives a curiosity to what does the title mean, you know?
For sure. And you definitely find out.
Oh, yeah.
You find out. So the story was inspired by a real life experience that Nelson Greaves had. He had received a spam email from an old friend, but that friend had actually recently committed suicide.
Gotcha.
And Greaves said, it was so emotionally troubling for me. It's such a simple thing, but it made me stop and say, this is something out of a scary movie.
Yeah.
Crazy that you ended up turning it into one, because that's a very terrible human experience, and somebody actually went through that, and their family had to deal with that. But I mean, okay.
It's inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's a horror movie. Remember, your inspirations in horror are always going to be dark.
Dark, yeah.
There is no horror movie that has a happy inspiration.
If you can find one, email us.
I know, right? horrorunmasked@gmail.com.
Period.
Let us know.
All right. So I wanted to do a little bit more research on the website that Mitch sent to Blair.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was very rooted in the lore of this movie and like where that supernatural entity comes from.
The rules of the dead.
Yeah.
Very very reminiscent of Beetlejuice, the guidebook.
Yes.
Kind of idea.
Yes. I didn't find anything like that. However, I'm sure they exist. But I did find like what that website is a spoof of. Yeah. So that website is like inspired by this site called Unexplained Mysteries Forums. Fucking nuts. Yeah. You could go for hours and hours and days and just still be reading crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
7.4 million posts about unexplained videos and things that have happened about...
The spooky community is massive.
Yeah. They've got stuff about aliens, ghosts, metaphysics, spirituality, unexplained TV, books, films.
Different phenomena.
Yeah. Posts about space, politics, true crime, COVID, music,
cryptids, All sorts of shit.
Literally thousands of topics, 318,000 to be exact. The topic that has the most at 1 million posts is the one about religion.
Not surprised.
Because it's all unexplained shit and debunking things.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and it has over 202,000 members. And it's even got YouTube posts. Like, there's so many things, all unexplained sightings, videos, phenomena, actually insane.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a really cool chit chat that we did if we just deep dived a little bit into there.
Yeah.
If that's something you guys are interested in. But
I think that'd be cool.
It was crazy, and I definitely see where you could find something like the rules of not speaking to the dead or whatever, like the universal rules of the dead. I definitely see how it came from there. So many things. The first post I clicked on was like so many different posts about aliens and UFO sightings that are recent. This page is constantly being updated.
Or as they like to call them now, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. UAP instead of UFO.
Unidentified flying object.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it sounds
you get
better.
UAP.
UAP? Fair enough. But yeah, like literally thousands of posts about unexplained UAPs.
Yeah.
Like videos, pictures of these things. And I'm like, why is nobody talking about this shit? Nobody's speaking about none of it. So y'all should go check this website out. I think it's super dope. And with that, I'm going to get into the more serious topic about the whole cyberbullying thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because again, it's
because it's real.
And that's the theme of
it's
this movie.
Still happening today.
Still very much happening today.
Oh, yeah.
Probably more than it ever has.
Yeah. I would definitely say probably more than it has ever been.
Just because every single person is on the internet. Whereas, in the 90s and the early 2000s, it wasn't as prominent just because it was a newer thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of like websites like MySpace and Facebook. Like,
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I remember being in middle school and so the idea of the dark web was for some reason prevalent because we're also still not new to the internet, but new to the internet. And I remember like a web page going around that was quote from the dark web.
Oh.
And it was a site where it was like a supposed to essentially wish death upon someone.
And then
you would put their name in.
And then it would
essentially supposed to be like either you're sending a supernatural thing
like
or something.
Death Note or something like that.
Kind of. It was supposed to be something like that. And I remember a lot of us using that.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah. I remember that people would, like, if you got pissed at somebody.
Oh my God.
Or anything like that. Yeah. They would, I remember that being a thing. And also there was a whole bunch of other stuff, but like people always wanted to be like, I've been on the dark web. I'm like, no, you haven't. If you've been on the dark web, you've been on the dark web and you don't talk about it.
Right.
The stuff that happens on the dark web is not the stuff that you want to talk about.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. And the next movie, like the sequel, really goes into that. Like it's some dark stuff in that one. This one is kind of like, it's not lighthearted at all, but it's definitely more just like friends who have cyberbullied someone. Yeah. And they die. The next
especially cyberbullied someone that they were supposed to be friends with.
Yeah. Like, that's very typical. This dark web sequel is no joke. And we'll talk more about that, like, summary in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the 1990s and the 2000s, a new way of bullying became available to aggressive students. Cyberbullying. So caused a lot of their peers lots of distress through technological means, which allowed bullies to reach their victims where they had always been safe.
Yeah.
In their homes.
Yeah.
Because when you're behind a screen, you feel very powerful.
Unless they lived in your neighborhood. But anyway, that's beside the point.
But when you're behind a screen, it gives you a certain power. So step out behind that screen. Come on, what do you have to say then?
Yeah. The I can't. The word.
Eminent?
No. My brain keeps just wanting to say anemone instead of oh, fucking Christ. Basically you get to hide and no one gets to know who you are. That word. My brain can't say it because all it wants to say is anemone.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what word you're trying to say though.
The word that means that you are hidden behind, like, no one knows who you are on the internet. Anonymity? Something like that. So, fucking Christ. On a goddamn bike.
Like,
you know the word.
Anonymous? Like that type of thing? Like
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, try and do it. Just like I've been.
Anonymity?
That one. Anonymity. Anonymity. That word.
We got there.
You know. That one.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the earlier cases of cyberbullying being fatal.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
I've got a few. First, 2010.
Yeah.
A university student from Rutgers named Tyler Clementi. He jumped off of the George Washington Bridge after his roommate live streamed a video of him kissing another man on Twitter. What the fuck?
Yeah. People were... You know that there's not a theory, I think it's a theory and a study that empathy has only been a recent development in human history.
What?
Yeah.
Why do I have so much of it then? I have too much.
Yeah,
like,
we're
it's a detriment.
Not recent as in like it's been a while for us brain-wise, but in human history it's been not that long. Yeah.
Which makes sense with all the, the racist, sexist, homophobic type.
People are objects, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are not. No one is.
Yeah.
Treat people with kindness. Treat people with fucking empathy. I can't believe it's something they literally have to tell us in, our work training.
Yeah.
They literally had to be like, have empathy. What does it mean? To share the feelings of others. Mm-hmm. You have to teach us that?
There are some people that would look at someone who's either autistic or who has ADHD. People who show empathy through, like, you're going through an experience. The closest facsimile that I can come to from my experience, I have to kind of, okay, I've had these things happen to me, so I can kind of understand what you're going through. Mm-hmm. There are medical people and psychological people who will tell you that we're doing empathy incorrect. And I'm like, how's that wrong? How is trying to connect to someone and relate to someone
so that they don't feel alone
incorrect?
I don't think
like
it is.
Obviously there's some things that you can't connect to.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's no way in hell I am going to be able to understand fully what it's like for Black
just
people.
Putting yourself in the other person's shoes, like imagining yourself
going through something,
through the same things.
Yeah, obviously, like there are some people that you can't, like certain races or even sometimes the opposite gender role.
Yeah,
like you're not 100% going to be able to understand what they're going through. Mm-hmm. But like you can attempt to just be like, okay,
or even people with disabilities, and just so many things. Personally, I don't find it too hard.
No,
but I know it's something that can't really be taught.
Yeah, and some people struggle with.
Some people struggle with it, and honestly, I don't think I'll understand it. But maybe it's just some wires in your brains that are different.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But the next one I'm going to talk about is that same year in 2010, a Canadian teenager. This one I knew about because I saw this video on YouTube. How I saw it when I was 8 years old, that's a great question. But there was a Canadian teenager named Amanda Todd.
The name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it was a big one. She killed herself a month after posting a video called My Story, Struggling, Bullying, Suicide, Self-Harm to YouTube.
Yeah.
Her video got more than 17 million views.
Yeah.
Explaining how a stranger convinced her to show her breasts on camera and then blackmailed her with the photos.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff. I'm pretty sure that he ended up leaking the photos and that, things like that, they get around and people see you as, like, they think like, oh, you're a slut. Oh, you're a whore.
Yeah.
They just call you the most terrible things ever. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't think I'll ever get that. But a week after her death, Canada began drafting national anti-bullying legislation. Same for Tyler Clementi. A federal cyberbullying law passed in 2012, 2 years after his death, that has his name. Crazy stuff. But the last one I want to talk about is one of the earliest and well-known cases of cyberbullying. Megan Mier, a 13-year-old girl, 13.
Yeah.
From Dardenne Prairie, Missouri. She took her own life in 2006 after cyberbullying on MySpace.
Yeah.
So this is like one of the earliest and well-known. Like, I tried to see like what was the first like fatal incidences of cyberbullying.
Yeah.
But there's so many things out there, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I never was part of the MySpace generation. Like, I was.
No, me neither.
I grew up with the people who used MySpace, but I personally did not use MySpace. I was the like first group of Facebook kids.
People, yeah. For me, it was more Instagram, I think, for mine.
Yeah.
Like, I had Facebook, but it had already been out for a while.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this instance, this one is actually insane. So there was a profile under the name Josh Evans, a teenage boy who befriended Megan online, gaining her trust. However, he started saying a lot of mean things to her. Started saying like, the world would be better without you in it.
Yeah.
Just really terrible things like nobody likes you. You're a terrible person. All of these like nothing like
they're just words, but those kinds of words,
nothing like fuck you, slut, go die.
Yeah,
like,
that's
but
like
shit
still, that scratches at your head in a way that you don't want.
You're still 13 years old.
Yeah,
and things like that would hurt anyone who's that young, even if you're not that young. Like, people saying that the world will be better without you in it is never good.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets crazy. After her death, her parents decided to look more into it and found out that it was actually the mother of one of Megan's former friends.
What the fuck?
Who created this fake profile under the name Josh Evans and was
what the fuck?
Sending these texts to Megan.
Is there an explanation as to why?
Let me see. I didn't see.
Because that doesn't make... Why the fuck would you do that? Because obviously you're hearing the words former friend. So I'm assuming something happened where either the mother didn't want her to be friends with her anymore or something to that effect. But you just don't do that kind of shit. You don't, like, go after a little kid in any sense of the word.
My guess is it was probably... Megan and Lori's daughter probably had a falling out, and Lori was like, nobody, like, Lori's probably one of those stuck-up moms who's like, my daughter's always right. You're wrong. You're a terrible person. Let me step in for my kid. Even though not the right thing to do. Especially this. Like, this is so childish and so... I don't even have words. I really don't. How are you, a grown woman, a grown fucking woman, gonna pose as a little boy and torment this child? You have a child. How would you feel if some other mother did this to your kid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you? And what the fuck was going through your brain? I simply don't know. She had charges pressed against her.
I can't find anything either.
She had charges pressed against her. We can't find anything
specifically as to like why she did it. I mean,
but again, that's my guess.
Yeah, the former friend idea. Maybe there was some
falling out, and the mom just took it too far.
Or sometimes it's not even that the kids had a falling out. It's that the parent just is like, I don't want you hanging out with them anymore. Period. End of story.
Yeah,
and they still tried to be friends, but it kind of got caught or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should never do that. Don't attack a child ever for any reason.
No.
Like,
no. I mean, okay.
That just makes you look like a terrible psychotic human.
Not
as an
in
adult.
this instance. Don't ever. Obviously, there are children who need some discipline.
Yeah, discipline. But this is not discipline.
This is not discipline. This is malicious.
Yeah.
This is calculated.
Also, what the fuck was the discipline like, even if you thought of this as discipline, what's the discipline?
Right. What is she learning here?
She's just attacking a girl using a fake profile. Especially because she's using a male person as a profile. You know for a fact, at least I will make an assumption, you know that there had to be some level of her trying to get something out of that. Because why would she make a male profile?
Right.
Why not just make another female?
Also to just like kind of dissuade evidence from looking like it's her at all.
But still, there's still that implication in making a male profile.
Yeah, for sure. It's fucked up. But if you are thinking about commenting something rude on someone's post or about their life, don't even think, don't even type it. Don't even.
Who cares?
No one cares about what you have to say.
No. Like, think it all you want. If you want to think it, go for it. But who the fuck cares if you, like, why do you need to write it?
Why do you need to write it? Why do you need to put people down like that? Why do you... I'm talking to you, whoever commented on our fucking post. Like, garbage. Couldn't even get through the first 5. Okay, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
No one cares. Because the people who are going to listen are going to listen. The people who are going to watch and love and support and appreciate are going to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to hate, do it in your own fucking corner.
Because the truth of the matter is it doesn't really do anything.
No.
Like, it does. For some people, it does. If you're not psychologically prepared,
and
like, we're aware of what could come of people.
I'm aware of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I could really handle it if we got a lot of hate. That's just me. If that were to happen, I would step away personally. Because I can't. That's my brain. I don't like things like that. I don't handle things like that very well.
I had an entire class associated with criticism, so I'm fine. I handle it fairly okay.
But for me, I'm a people pleaser, and I really take people's
but sometimes
comments.
People's comments are not grounded in anything. I
take them harder than I should, and I know that.
Yeah, and they're not grounded in any real purpose.
And I'm aware of that. It's just me and many other people can't see past that.
Yeah.
You know? It's hard. It's difficult because it's still coming from somebody, and nobody wants those types of comments directed toward them, and no matter what sense.
Yeah, but the more you get known, the more you are going to have that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a point where that's just going to happen and that there's nothing that can be done about it.
Yeah.
You know, You just
I'm
ignore
just saying
it.
if it was an influx, like I don't really understand those people who like have so many beautiful, lovely, wonderful comments, and then it's the one negative one that they focus on. That's what I wouldn't really understand. But I'm saying if it were like only bad things were coming our way, I no.
Well,
I'm done.
I don't think we would have only bad things. That's
No.
usually not like how that works,
But I'm
unless
just
you're like
saying-
being controversial for the sake of being controversial.
Which why?
But-
Again, that's
I
probably
mean, like,
you
even-
saying negative comments about
even
things.
Rolly, he does videos where he makes fun of the hate comments because he finds them funny because they're stupid, like commenting on the fact that he's bald,
Some of them
like
are
trying
dumb.
to make it and like trying to be offensive, like trying to be like offensive that he's gay, and I'm like find
not
new
offensive.
material.
Right.
Like there's some
You're just
people that are
stating
just so
You're
stupid.
just stating a fact, bro. Oh, yeah, he's.
And I'm
okay.
like, people like commenting about his appearance and stuff, and he's just like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm not. Okay, here's the thing. That one negative comment we did get, it didn't affect me at all. I did not care. What I'm saying is an influx of them would.
Yeah.
That's just me. But
you also are on that side of the computer, so you're fine. I am.
what do you mean?
I'm the one that sees all the like analytics and things like that, at least on the behind the scenes of the uploading process and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I could do without that.
Yeah. So you're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to see that, so you're fine.
You just said it doesn't get to you though.
No, I know, but I'm saying like with your statement about how it makes you feel,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it because you're not going to see that if we do get that.
Yeah.
Even at all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And for even there being one that we fucking got rid of because it was unnecessary, and I'm not afraid to say that.
It was unnecessary. It was really stupid too. And I already said what it was. It was like somebody commented like
Couldn't get through the first 5 minutes. And I'm like,
minutes.
well, you didn't really get anything.
no.
You didn't actually get into anything.
No, I was like, that's dumb because
That's like
all we
in the
do in
middle
the
of the
first
story.
all we do in the first 5 minutes is the intro. You get a cool little song for like a minute, then you get another minute of intro, and then like
Our first like couple minutes of like just
summary.
Yeah.
So you didn't even get into the meat and bones of everything.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta have patience, bro.
it was literally a waste of your time to write that. Like
It just got deleted anyway.
You spent more time thinking about writing that than actually.
Because
watching.
I'm not gonna lie, we had a little debate on like whether or not we should just keep it up
Or delete it.
And I was pro just get rid of it because personally I want to keep this platform a nice space.
I want to keep
happy
it positive.
space,
I understand
positive.
that, but there is going to be a point in time where we're not going to have enough time to
And-
or dedication to delete.
And I'm aware of
everything.
that, but right now we do have the time.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep it light. Like we don't need that. If you're gonna be mean, take it somewhere else.
Yeah, like you know,
And I don't mean to another channel. I mean
go to therapy.
that. Take it to your therapist. If you have that much anger.
Why do I feel this way? Well, I don't know. Maybe you have something going on inside of you that you need to deal
There
with.
was did I save it? Did I screenshot it? I'm gonna give y'all a little life lesson right now. You ready? This was a post I saw.
Yeah.
If you're angry, go lift some weights. If you're stressed, go on a run. If you're moody, take a fucking nap. If you're sad, get some sunlight. And if you're anxious, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need to take it out on other people. There's no need. Like, channel that some way else.
Yeah.
It can improve your mental health just by doing physical stuff.
And there's
Letting it out in your physical body.
And it's also not even that. There
Release
are just
it.
some people who like to make comments just to see they just want to see someone get riled up. And there's a part
Like,
of
they find
it
pleasure in that.
that I'm like, those people, there's something wrong there, and you need to seek aid.
And those are the type of people where like you just can't give them the time of day because that's what gives them power.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. But
all that to say,
Yeah.
if you, on the other side of the cyberbullying, if you are feeling low and you are feeling depressed and you are feeling
Reach
suicidal, do reach out
Mm-hmm.
to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Because there's always someone that cares about you.
A lot of the times when people are in that kind of place,
They don't care.
It's not even just that they don't care. It's more of the, even if I reach out, they're not going to understand, and they're not going to give me the kind of support that I want.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
So the point is it's scary, and it's unknown, but take that chance to reach out to that friend or that family member. Fuck, if you're not comfortable talking to a family member, but you're comfortable reaching out to a faculty member of somewhere, either a college or a whatever school you go to.
Just someone you feel like you can trust. Because there's got to be at least one person in your life. Someone who has shown you kindness.
Shit, sometimes, to be honest, which is proven, fucking talk to your pet. Yeah, they can't respond.
Oh, yeah.
But that, being able, the point is you have to be able to get it out and have something that can support you.
I will say, I was going through it a little bit ago, and I didn't have my cat with me, but I know that if she was there,
it would have been different.
It would have been way different.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there going through it for a few hours.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just really wish that I had my cat right now to just pet and cuddle and love. And it was rough. It was hard.
Psychologically, I probably need to have a cat.
Yeah. They're worth it, I will say.
Yeah.
I got her as an emotional support cat just so I didn't have to pay for, extra money with rent. But so it was kind of like funny, haha, but it's not. She really is my emotional support cat. And
yeah.
Like, I feel like any pet could do that for you, whether it's,
yeah,
dog, cat, rabbit, tarantula.
It's something that brings you happiness that, they can't talk back, but they are still a supporting being in your life.
It's also this, like, the situation where you feel like you can't take care of yourself, but you can take care of something else. So if you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for this other being that you love and you care, about.
Yes.
And you don't want to see them hurt or without.
Yeah.
So
sometimes that's a good way to kind of like pull yourself out of that.
Yeah, and ground yourself
Yeah.
into something and you're not so focused on everything going on in your life, and you can just focus on taking care of something else, something that you can control.
Yeah. I agree.
For the better. So definitely worth it, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Gotta love pets. They're little lifesavers. Every pet deserves a caring person, but not every person deserves a pet.
I agree with that.
So
also make sure you get a pet for the right reasons. Not as a replacement for something, as a
it's just cute, fluffy.
Be realistic, because there are a lot of people who get certain animals because of some fad. Don't do that.
Yeah, no.
There are some people who don't have something or don't get something and replace it with an animal, and that's a mistake. Don't do that. Like,
because honestly, then you just get to what's the word?
You also build an unhealthy attachment to that animal as you associated it with something specific.
That, or it could be the opposite of like neglect. Not, what's the word I'm looking for?
You
start to resent it and like neglect it. Because of that. And then also it's the whole,
because it's a representation of the thing that you lost.
Yeah. But also make sure you're in the right space monetarily.
Yes.
As well, because you can't take care of a pet if you don't have the money or resources to do that.
And pets are not cheap.
No. All that to say, take care of your brain space, your mind palace. It is your home.
Yeah. And you are your worst bully. So, be mindful of the you that's in your brain that's fucking with you.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but if I'm really feeling down about myself, or just the situation, I just think like, one, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah.
It never does. It never does. Even in the moment when you feel like it's going to shit, it doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And if you really are just like hating the skin that you're in just what I love to do is just the one saying I love the most is like a flower looks so different than a sunset, but they're both beautiful in different ways.
Yeah.
So if you're comparing yourself to someone, don't do that, because they might be beautiful, but you also have beautiful qualities that you don't even realize. And then
everyone has insecurities.
Yeah.
Just because they're a word that we use a lot, or that is used in regards to like social medias and things like that, is it's a simulacrum. It's a alternative version of yourself that you present to the world.
Yeah. And
so sometimes try to be a little bit more honest.
And I will say, going back to like the whole internet thing, we are not supposed to be posting ourselves like this and looking at other people like this and seeing ourselves like this all of the time.
Yeah.
It's not a natural thing. Everything online is fake.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking fake. Like
it's very rare you will find things that are natural or real. I mean, you do see that more. I will say that there are people who are trying to bring more awareness to that, because goddamn,
we need
there
it.
was in that 2015 time frame, in that whole time frame, there was a severe level of just falsity and internet fakery going on, and still a little bit of it today, but there's a lot more people that are bringing awareness of like trying to be more real
for sure
on internet. So yeah.
But the one thing I like to think about, like if I am feeling down in my skin, is just like appreciating the body that I do have and what it does for me on the daily. Like obviously there are people who have disabilities and things, but if you have all of your limbs and all of your fingers and your organs are working the way that they're supposed to, and like your heart is pumping blood through your body and your brain is sending signals throughout your nerves and your body does the things that it's supposed to do, like that's honestly incredible in and of itself. Just be thankful that you can walk, that you can run, that you can breathe, that you can hear beautiful things, that you can see beautiful things. Obviously that's not the case for everyone, but if you can, just appreciate what you do have and what you are able to do. Really grounds you. So just
put it out there.
Just put it out there.
Is that the end of your notes?
Yeah, that's the end of my notes.
Alrighty, I'm gonna give our little synopsis for the Unfriended dark web. And it's: after finding a laptop, a young man goes online to play a game with 5 of his good friends. He shows them a mysterious folder that plays disturbing videos of people who appear to be in danger. They then receive an anonymous message that tells them they will all die if they disconnect or call the police. The planned night of fun quickly turns deadly as each user becomes the target of something sinister, while the others must watch in helpless terror.
It's fucking nuts, I will say.
I haven't seen it yet, but you were saying that you had seen it, but it'd been a while.
It's been a while.
So,
but I definitely remember some dark things. Like, think about the darkest things you can see on the dark web.
Yeah, there's some really dark shit that's on the dark web. There's some really bad shit that's on the dark web. So, yeah. But you got any 1 stars?
I do. I got a couple of things.
Okay.
Ended off on a light note.
Yeah.
Guys, here's a tip if you want to see this movie. Instead of shilling out actual money, just get 4 people you know with Skype accounts. Get in a group call and then just scream for 2 hours straight. You know, you'll have the entire plot, line of events, and premise of Unfriended. I don't know about that. Just another painful to watch, stupid found footage horror that decided to go from a normal camera to the most boring and ugly way of showing it. Skype chat. Because why would you want the camera to be enjoyable? Skip the movie. Just go watch a PewDiePie video. It's the exact same amount of obnoxious screaming, but you can also watch a video game instead of focusing on the screaming idiot.
There's not that much screaming.
No, there's not. And how dare you disgrace PewDiePie like that? I'm kidding. I don't really care about him like that. How many followers does he even have? I don't know.
Unnecessarily large amount.
If this person said Markiplier, then we'd have some issues.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't really care about.
He recently revealed that he was one of the big donors for a thing towards Palestine.
Go him.
That he was like one of the big like secret donors.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was one of the big. He revealed that he was one of the big secret donors.
Yeah, because
that's hilarious.
There were people wondering.
How much was it? Do you know?
Not sure.
That's okay.
But it was a big amount.
You're talking about Markiplier?
Markiplier, yeah. But yeah, no. That whole thing is so wrong.
I know.
Like, I swear.
I don't think if you got on a Skype call with 4 of your friends, everyone would die. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah, no. And also just the idea of being like, scream for 2 hours. I'm like, no, that's literally not how that works.
Okay, I promise you, if you did that and then filmed it and then put it next to the movie,
it would not be the same.
I promise you it would not be.
There's a little bit, aka a bit more to the movie than just, like, sometimes I feel like some of these people don't pay attention
unless
to
y'all
like the story.
playing a lethal game of truth or dare. No.
Yeah, no.
Mm-mm. All right, next. By the end of this god-awful movie, I wanted to shoot myself in the damn face.
Okay.
All the stupid teens do is scream at each other for 80 minutes straight.
What is with people saying that they... Whatever.
I found myself rejoicing every time one of these little shits killed themselves. What the fuck is wrong with you, first of all?
I mean, they all deserved, for the most part, they all deserved their deaths.
Yeah,
due
but that
to what
sentence
happened,
right
but
there,
that's still fucked.
That's a terrible sentence. If you like the sound of bitchy, vapid teen girls yelling and screaming, then watch this movie. There is no storyline and no plot. Did we watch the same movie? Worse, the entire train wreck of a movie consists of looking at some dumb girl's computer screen. Yeah, that's the point. I don't understand why there are so many good reviews for this movie. They must all be from vapid 14-year-old girls.
Also, I don't like the fact that they keep referencing women as being vapid
yeah.
and annoying. And I'm like mentioning that it was on this annoying girl's screen. I'm like, dude, fuck off.
They were all annoying.
Everyone was annoying, especially the dudes.
Yeah, them probably worse.
Yeah.
And then they go, you ready? 82 minutes of my life I will never get back.
Always.
On a side note, my obnoxious, stupid cousin, 15 years old, loved it. Figures.
Because it's a good movie. It's an interesting look at things.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I was exactly 15 years old when we watched this for the first time together.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was like, I was in high school, just been dumped. Oh, poor me. And I came over, and I was like, woe's me. And we sat in your room and just watched a bunch of shit until I was cheered up.
Yeah.
How long was I over? I was there for like a week.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Oh, yeah.
My parents were like, get this crying girl out of my house. Like, we cannot handle her anymore. Amber,
get her the fuck out. Do something about this.
No, I'm kidding. They genuinely just were like, we don't want to see you sad anymore. Maybe go visiting your cousin will cheer you up. Maybe getting out of the house, doing something better will make you happy. Yeah. And they drove me all the way there and like dropped me off, gave me a hug and kiss, and were like, we love you, baby girl.
Goodbye.
Chill out. This is your first heartbreak. You'll be fine. You'll live. I think this movie cured my depression. No, I'm kidding. Probably made it worse, actually.
You know,
until we turned on Friends, and I was like, I'll be there for a period. My depression is actually gone now. No. Yeah, good times. But yeah, stop hating on 15-year-olds.
Honestly, and also just don't be,
because you know what these 1-stars are? Cyberbullying.
Yeah, quite literally.
And that's why I read them, to fucking debunk them.
Yeah. Also,
they're
it's
stupid.
just because sometimes their reasoning and their results, both of these people had no substance in their comment.
They just went.
They're screaming
people.
teens.
Dumb
Don't watch
movie.
it. What's that supposed? Where is the critical thinking?
Yeah.
What is the? Well, this plot, it felt like I was missing something that could have drawn out the. No, we get the. It's poop. Don't watch.
And
that doesn't help anybody.
That's why I like putting these 1 stars, because it's also like we're trying to get you to like watch the movie if you feel like you don't want to. So we like to be like, don't listen to these 1 stars. The 1 stars are bad.
Yeah.
Unless it's would you rather.
It's would you rather, and then that's just
then we're like,
that can fuck all the way off. Skip it.
Bye.
It's not worth it.
Nope.
Unless you want to watch a really weird movie with not great special effects.
With the penguin in it.
For real.
From Gotham.
Gotham.
Who plays a...
And a psychologist that does nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, psychologist.
Even though he's supposed to have won the previous time. I'm sorry. What?
He dies the second he steps in the house.
The second he steps in the house. Are you fucking kidding me? And the problem is that we get too many cutaways of him like, bah, 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 bah,
yeah,
bah, 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 boom, dead immediately.
And then boom, dead immediately. Yeah, but if you want to see the penguin,
no context, no information. This bitch is like, why are you here? Mm-hmm. Well, boom,
death,
nothing. No information.
He doesn't even get to share any information.
No.
But yeah, if you want to see the penguin as a whiny little bitch, I mean, he is in Gotham as well, but
you know.
Thanks for listening to that. Our mental healths are greatly improved after ranting about all those things.
All right.
Sweet release.
Our next episode is our 50th episode.
Woo!
And if any of you remember my promise that I made a long fucking time ago, it is The Exorcist.
Bum, bum, bum.
So we will be watching The Exorcist.
And if you don't get it, she has trauma.
I have trauma associated with this movie.
And that's all we'll say, because we'll elaborate further.
Granted, what's really funny is I liked Exorcist Believer logic.
Okay, but those two are
so
very
different. So different.
The most different you could ever even imagine. Personally, I think The Exorcist is one of the stupidest horror movies I've ever seen. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't care if it was made in the 60s. I really don't. It's dumb.
I've seen some screenshots of it, and I've been like, is that really the movie I watched?
Right. I'm telling you, when you watch it again, you're going to be like,
I also watched it when I was like fucking 10. I was too young to watch it.
I don't know. That's when I started watching horror movies.
Me up. Also, remember, I was a very different person than you.
Yeah, you're right.
This traumatized me for a month after watching it to the point I couldn't sleep very well, and then still to this day, for the most part, I still am like trepidatious about watching it for the first time in a long time.
We'll get there. You brave soul.
Yeah,
but I agree. I was watching horror movies at 10, and my parents took me to HHN the second I could when I turned 13. So
yeah. Whereas I went for the first time only a handful of years ago.
Yep.
So
in the 20s.
Yep.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Thanks for listening to us rant and rave and
like we said earlier, if you
health.
found any movies that have a happy plot end or a happy inspiration, send us an email at horrorunmasked@gmail.com. If you have any movie recommendations also would be greatly appreciated. I think that would be really nice to kind of see some of the stuff that you guys would like us to review, because at this point we just have a list of films that we're interested in that's just on there. But if there's things that you guys would like us to go over, let us know,
because I know there's been some comments about requesting some things, and trust me, we're getting to them.
And we're working on them.
We're working on it.
There's we have pretty much the rest of this year for the most part figured out already. There's only 1 month that I'm still kind of fiddling with. But for the most part, but just like let us know what kind of movies or what movies you'd be interested in us kind of going over. We are not inclined to do the scary movie series, because no, thank you.
That's a parody.
But
that's comedy. That's not horror.
We prefer You know,
It's not
anything
even
in
funny.
the horror, thriller
Mm.
is fine. Psychological
thrillers.
stuff. Yeah, we're totally cool with all that kind of stuff.
Spooky
So just
sci-fi, spooky fantasy.
yeah, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there's a whole bunch of weird shit that people watch
Yeah. Yeah.
that I know that is not on our list. So let us know. And remember, rate, comment, subscribe, like us.
Turn on
Thumbs
your
up.
bell notifications.
Bell notifications, yes. You know, 5-star reviews, they help a lot, you know. But you guys can follow us at Instagram and Twitter, at X, at Horror Unmasked.
Never not funny.
You can listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, and YouTube.
So anywhere you get your podcasts.
Mm-hmm. At Horror Unmasked Podcast. And I think with that,
There's only one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
or will you fear not?